guys, my name's Michelle. Thanks for joining me. Today's an exciting day. I'm 32 weeks now and I'm going to pack my hospital bag. You usually want to do it in your third trimester, and I'm starting now because I know I'll be induced a little early due to my health condition I have and the medication that I'm on. We'll induce around 37 or 38 weeks, so we only have about 5 weeks left to go, but I'm packing it early because you never know when baby's coming. So let's get started. The first item I have on my list was actually shared with me by a friend of mine. She said, bring a bottle of champagne. I thought that was really cute because with all that hard work that you go through, 9 months of not drinking, going through the delivery process, whether it's natural or not, C-section, it doesn't matter, it's hard work. So sipping a little bit of champagne once your medication is out of your system, completely acceptable. I'm sure that your support person would also be appreciative of it as well. So a bottle of champagne, or those little tiny miniature bottles they have, like the 4-pack of the Barefoot, it might not be the best thing, but well deserved after that. Don't forget your extra clothes. Plan for 2 to 3 days, but pack an extra one because you never know what's going to happen, whether you're bleeding through the outfit that you wear. If you have an unplanned C-section, you need to have some loose fitting clothes like a robe, a dress, some really loose sweatpants, something that'll be comfortable for the C-section scar if you should have one. Speaking of clothes, don't forget those picture day outfits for the whole family, whoever's going to be there. Me, my husband, and the new baby. While you're on the subject of taking pictures, you'll want to bring makeup, if that's the kind of person that you are. I like to bring pillows and blankets. Now the hospital has those as well, but 1, they don't provide enough. 2, they're also really thin, the pillows and the blankets. So it's nice to have the extra fluffy pillows, the extra soft, smooth blankets. I like to have my own stuff. At least I have some sense of familiarity while I'm in a crazy hospital. Now the hospital is usually very, very cold and the air is very, very dry. So I recommend bringing some chapstick, bringing some lotion, bringing some of those slippers or socks with the little grippers on the bottom. Again, the hospital has those too, but you want something a little bit more comfortable. I know I do. I bring my phone, iPad, little Sudoku games, pen, paper to write on. Make sure you bring chargers to keep that stuff charged as well. Hospitals usually have terrible food and you're going to want snacks. Your support person is going to want snacks and drinks. So bring those snacks, bring those drinks, bring some change for the vending machine because they usually have them available there at the hospital as well. Luckily, my hospital has pretty good food, but the kitchen's not always open. And I don't know what the situation's going to be like with the whole COVID thing going around right now. So I'm definitely bringing some extra snacks just to make sure. My favorite snacks to bring are the granola bars. I love those. Of course, water will be provided by the hospital, but you might want some chips. You might want something salty. You might want something sweet. You might want something healthy. Bring an apple, bring applesauce, just something to feed you and give you energy and also satiate you at the same time. Now the hospital will provide some really big pads for you and they do work. I do recommend taking all of those home with you when you leave because you might need them. But I also like to bring my own. So they have the really big pads, which I also buy, but I found that wearing Depends is really, really nice. Yeah, it's for the elderly and the people with incontinence, but you're going to be bleeding a lot and you're going to be super uncomfortable. The Depends Silhouette or the Always Discreet, they're both really good options. I'll link them down below if you'd like to look them up, order them off of Amazon. They're way more comfortable than wearing big bulky pads. Now, if you choose to wear the pads, completely fine. I would recommend getting some mesh underwear. That's what I did with my first delivery afterwards, and it worked out pretty well, but I'm definitely going the Depends or Always route this time. Make sure you bring a camera for those pictures or your camera phone. If you have a phone with a nice camera on it, bring that. That's what I'm bringing. But they do also have photographers there and photography services at the hospital. I don't know if they do right now with the situation going on, but normally they have those services that of course you have to pay extra for, but it is an option in case you'd like to choose that. Now here's a neat one that I've been hearing about recently and I didn't do during my first delivery because I didn't know, but to bring nurse gifts. I plan on doing that this time because in my last delivery, the nurses were my best friends. They are seriously underpaid, guys. They do so much work. The majority of the work, they're there for you when you put your epidural in. Mine gave me a great big hug the whole time. They're there for you when you're pushing, cheering you on. In fact, my doctor wasn't in the room most of the time I was pushing, just at the end of active labor. They do all the dirty work, the catheters, they're changing all your bloody stuff, it's a lot of mess, and they do a lot. It's a thankless job, and just having those little gifts is a nice little way to say thank you. For me, I'm going to get them a Starbucks gift cards, a little bottle of hand sanitizer, some snacks. I'll look up and see what else I think I might want to bring, but I think those are cute and sweet little gifts. They say to plan for a staff of around 8, but I know at my hospital it's 1 nurse for 1 patient, so I'll only need to bring 3 or 4. I'll bring 5 to be safe. It's a good idea to bring pajamas, nursing bras, and the nipple cream. That is actually a really big one. Your nipples are going to be so sore, and the nipple cream helps so much. Now for the baby stuff. The diapers, of course, the hospital will have, but if you have a specific brand that you'd like to bring those as well. Of course, bring clothes for the baby. Bring a couple of preemie outfits because you don't know exactly how big they'll be. Like I said, I'm being induced early, so I know my baby will be a little on the smaller side, hopefully not too small. But I know my firstborn was actually in preemie clothes as soon as she was born. I was so glad I brought a couple of pairs for her to wear. While we're on the outfits, get some good picture day outfits and the going home outfit. You're going to want to take a picture of that tiny little baby in that nice car seat for when you're taking him or her home. Here's a good one. Make sure you bring your pediatrician's information. The hospital will record what pediatrician you're using because that pediatrician is going to come up to the hospital and visit you and see that baby and make sure that the baby is where they should be at after they're born. Again, the hospital will have these things, but bottles, formula, you don't know if you're going to be able to produce. I wasn't able to. Of course, the colostrum super important, but making sure that baby is fed is another really important thing. So it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of that extra on the side, just in case. Fed baby is the best. And the last one for the baby list is make sure that car seat is installed before you leave the hospital. The hospital will not let you leave until they know that it's installed and that your baby is properly secured in the car seat, in the car, with the car seat installed in the car. So let's talk about hospital experience. Overall, I had a pretty good hospital experience. Yes, the epidural hurts. Yes, delivery sucks. But when that baby pops out and it's in your arms, you forget all of that stuff. It is the best feeling in the world. Afterwards, however, not the best feeling. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of cramping every time you try to breastfeed or pump that they don't tell you about. Your uterus tries to shrink back to size. That takes a while, a couple of weeks, but every single time it does this little pulse inside your stomach, so it feels like you're having contractions all over again, but you don't have that pain medication in your system like the epidural like you did before. Big one for me that I experienced was the lactation consultant. Some of them are great. Mine wasn't so great. I wish I would have told her to leave the room. She gave me so much anxiety. She acted like if I couldn't get enough out, that it would be the worst thing in the world. I should have told her to leave. But if you want them out, tell them to leave. If you want them to stay, tell them to stay. Don't be afraid to ask for more help if you need it. You can always have your nurse call the lactation consultant and they can bring them back in anytime. So the difference between this one and the last one for me is this time, of course, the virus is going around. I don't know what new restrictions they're going to have up. As of right now, I can have 1 support person in the hospital with me. That'll be my husband. Unfortunately, my mom can't be there with me this time, even though she was with me the first time, and I would love for her to be with me this time. But 1 person, hopefully things don't get worse to where they don't allow him in there at all. That would be absolutely horrible. I do not want to do this by myself. It would be scary. I could do it. Luckily, I've been through it before, so if I absolutely had to, yeah, of course I could do it. But hopefully that's not going to happen. Another difference is they say the second birth is faster than the first birth. My mom told me that it's the opposite in our family, so I guess we'll find out. I'm hoping it's faster and easier. So for toiletries, there's actually these little bags they sell on Amazon. I can also link that down below, but it has everything in there. It has deodorant, it has your Q-tips, cotton balls, little loofah sponge so you don't have to bring your own. It's just a little tiny one. A toothbrush, body wash, lotion, which you will need, toothpaste. I think there's 2 toothbrushes in here, so 1 for you and 1 for your support person.
So cliche, I see the sparks you throw my way. I know your name is written on everyone's mind. Your whole show is captivating me, but don't think that I can see right through that disguise. But when you got close to me, you had me falling so hard, baby, yeah, now I get it. You got heads turning, and you don't even try. Well, would you look at that? My glass is empty, glass empty. How about I get another drink, baby, okay, I get it. You got fire burning, right there in your eyes. So when you got this whole thing, I like the way you look at me. How about we just go with the flow? Now you know I feel it too. But I don't think this could be something that becomes.
So there we have it, friends. A couple packed bags, one for me and my husband and the other one for the baby. We are ready. Hopefully it doesn't happen until our induction date, but if it does, at least we have this part taken care of. Thanks for watching. I'd love for you guys to join me on more adventures. Like, subscribe, and tag along. Bye guys.